Do you ever just hit a day where you don't feel hungry, but you know your body still needs fuel to recover, build muscle, and get stronger? If you're a woman who likes to lift, train, or just wants to improve your performance, this episode is for you. I'm breaking down exactly how to fuel your workouts and recovery on days your appetite disappears, including practical strategies, quick high protein options, and mindset shifts that make eating for strength simple, stress free, and sustainable. Tired of feeling exhausted after training? Confused about how to fuel your body without all the food rules? Welcome to Female Sports Nutrition, where I'll help you fuel strong, build muscle, and perform your best, all while breaking free from diet culture. I'm Kristen, a sports dietitian, trainer, and Jesus lover, and I'm here to help you fuel with freedom. Lace up your shoes, grab that smoothie, and let's jump in. So today is a really cool day because it is my 100th episode, and I'm so excited that I've met this milestone. 100 episodes that I have published today, which is just very exciting to me. And so I want to share with you some reviews that I have been getting. So Big Fan 912 says, Kristen gives so many ideas for sports nutrition and fueling your performance in everyday life. She reminds us that it doesn't have to be complicated or intimidating. Tighten up your ponytail and start binge listening today. Thank you, Big Fan 912. I really appreciate that. And if you've been listening to this show, or maybe this is your first episode and you really like it, please take a quick minute, not even a minute, probably 30 seconds to write me a review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or wherever you listen. You'll be helping other females train smarter by leaving a review. Even just a quick 1 to 2 sentences goes a long way in helping more women find this podcast and fuel their workouts the right way. Your support makes this community stronger, literally. So please just take those 30 seconds, and I really, really appreciate it. So today we're talking about something that comes up for so many of my clients and listeners, which is what to do when you just aren't hungry. Maybe it's first thing in the morning, maybe it's after a long day of work and family, or maybe you just feel off and your body isn't asking for food, but your training and recovery still need it. So how do you fuel without forcing it and without sabotaging your performance or gains? And that's what we're going to dive into today. So first, let's start off with the why. Why does the not hungry even happen? And there can be a lot of reasons for why you may not feel hungry. Number one can be hormonal fluctuations. Your cycle or stress hormones can suppress your appetite, which can play a big role. And let's be honest, hormones can play a big role in just about everything in a female's life. Number two is stress and just a busy schedule. When you're juggling work, family, life, all the things, hunger cues can get muted. Number three is sleep deprivation. If you're tired, your body may not trigger your appetite properly, so you may not actually feel hungry if you are sleep deprived. Number four is post-training fatigue. Sometimes after a hard lift or cardio session, your body just wants rest and not food, and it can actually suppress your appetite, making you feel not hungry, even though you actually need it, especially if your blood sugar is already low. A lot of times you can feel sick afterwards, and that's because your blood sugar is so low and you really don't want to eat. But the number one thing that you do need to do to get out of that is to actually eat. So here's the key. Not feeling hungry doesn't mean that your body doesn't need fuel, especially for strength training. Your muscles, your joints, your recovery system, they all still need protein, carbs, and fat to get stronger, fitter, and faster. So how are you going to approach fueling when your appetite is low? Number one is to start small. Think nutrient dense. So you don't need a huge, grand old meal to get in the fuel that your body needs. It can be something small, but think carbohydrates and proteins. So for example, a protein shake or Greek yogurt or a handful of nuts, all will suffice. What we're really aiming for is about 15 to 20 grams of protein. That's going to go a long way in helping you with building that muscle, but it doesn't need to be a huge amount. So one of those little Greek yogurt cups is about 15 grams of protein. A protein shake, depending on what brand of protein powder you're using, can be anywhere from 15 to even upwards of 30 grams of protein. Now, a handful of nuts is going to be on the lower side of protein, but it'll still give you somewhere in the neighborhood of about 10 to 12 grams of protein. Another good option is to use liquid or semi-solid options because those things are not going to sit very heavy on your stomach like a solid food would. So think smoothies, protein puddings, or even soups or like bone broth. Those are going to be much easier to get down when you're not hungry. So again, make sure that you have a protein, a little bit of carbohydrates, and a little bit of healthy fat in there. So an example would be a banana, a scoop of protein powder, and or a nut butter. So the scoop of protein you can either mix with water or your milk of choice, and then just have a couple bites of a banana or even a half of a banana with a little bit of nut butter on there. Super easy, super quick, but again, not going to sit super heavy on your stomach. Now, if you don't like the idea of the banana, then you could have the protein shake and a few berries, or you can even buy one of those pre-made protein shakes like the Naked brand protein shakes that's already like a smoothie with the fruits in there. So you're getting some carbohydrates and protein together. Next, make sure that you are scheduling mini meals or snacks throughout the day. So instead of those like 3 big giant meals, make sure that you're aiming for smaller, frequent meals. So think of 3 to 4 mini fuelings spaced across the day, which are going to be easier to digest and less overwhelming for your body. And if bloat and stomach pain is your problem, eating big meals is certainly not going to help you. So you want to space your meals out into these smaller mini fuelings, which will help with that as well. If you don't have much of an appetite, trying to shove down a huge meal is really not going to go over very well. And most of the time, you're just going to say, forget it. I don't even want to eat it. So just make that meal into a smaller portion. And quite frankly, you can even take your meal, like breakfast or lunch or whatever it is, and split it into 2. So then that way, it doesn't feel so overwhelming to you. Next up is prioritize your protein. Your muscles need protein for repair and growth. So make sure that even on low appetite days, you are getting in 15, 20, 25 grams of protein at each of those little mini meals. That does not mean that you only eat protein and you don't have carbohydrates or fats or anything like that, but make sure that you are getting in the protein. It is very important. And last up is to listen to your cues beyond hunger. These would be things like your energy level, your mood, focus, and recovery after your training session are all better indicators than just your appetite. Your brain might say, I'm fine, but your muscles might disagree. So make sure that you're paying attention to different things as to like, why am I feeling not hungry? What else is going on with my body? And maybe it's that you're having a really stressful day or something really horrible just happened, or you have something on your mind, or you didn't get a lot of sleep last night. Whatever the case is, make sure that you're paying attention to those things so that you can troubleshoot for next time. So here's what this might look like on a day that you just aren't hungry. So a pre-workout would be a half of a banana and a scoop of protein in either water or whatever milk that you use. Post-workout would be a smoothie with some protein, spinach, frozen berries, and whatever milk that you like. Midday would be 2 boiled eggs or a protein bar. And then evening would be a quick stir fry or roasted vegetables with tofu or chicken or beef or whatever you use with some rice or quinoa. Now, granted, this is possibly not going to be enough food for you, so just keep that in mind, but it's going to be better than nothing on a day that you don't have a huge appetite. So if you notice the pattern, these are going to be small, protein-focused, easy-to-digest meals that keep your energy up without forcing a full plate when your appetite is low. So let's talk about mindset shifts for sustainable fueling, because it's easy to feel guilty when you're not eating full meals or eating the way that you think that you should be eating. But here's a mindset tip for you. Eating for performance isn't always about feeling hungry. It's about feeding your goals. So hunger is just one cue, not the only cue. Fuel strategically for training and recovery and focus on consistency over perfection. So what that means is even if you don't feel hungry or you're having a bad day and you don't want to eat or whatever the case is, make sure that you're just getting in those mini meals. Again, it's not going to be perfect. It may not be the full amount of food that you need to be eating in that day, but you are being consistent with getting in the components that you need. And that is going to far outweigh saying, forget it. I'm just going to skip my meal or I'm just going to grab a bag of chips or whatever. When you shift your mindset from I have to eat to I'm giving my body what it needs to perform, it's going to become less stressful and more empowering. And that's going to encourage you to continue to do it. So let's talk about some quick action tips that you can implement right now or tomorrow or the next time that this happens to you. Number one is to prep 1 to 2 grab and go protein options like bars, shakes, or boiled eggs. I tell people to keep some protein bars in your purse or your bag, your gym bag, whatever it is that you carry around with you, because there's going to be a time when you don't have access to food or you don't feel like eating whatever you packed for lunch, or you just need to eat, but you don't have any other options. And so having those protein bars available to you is great because it's going to prevent you from just skipping a meal or a snack. Protein shakes are super easy, especially when you don't feel like eating something. This is what I do in the morning when I just don't have much of an appetite. Sometimes I wake up hungry, and sometimes I wake up feeling like, ugh, food, the thought of it makes me want to puke right now. And so what I do is I just make a protein shake then, or a smoothie, and it solves my problem. And sometimes, like I said, your blood sugar is just low and it makes you feel like you don't want to eat. But if you actually do eat something, then it solves your problem. Boiled eggs are super easy. You can just whip these up when you have a spare 15 minutes, put them in the refrigerator, and they'll last a few days. You can eat them just plain. You can make them into deviled eggs. You can put them on a salad. You can make them into egg salad to put on a sandwich. Very versatile, very cheap, easy, great option to have on hand. Number two is to keep a small portable smoothie kit in the fridge or freezer. So what I'm talking about is like one of those Dole kits where it's already complete for you to just throw in a blender, put in a scoop of protein powder or some Greek yogurt and some milk and blend it up. Nobody wants to sit there chopping up fruits and vegetables to put in their smoothie, and now their quick and easy smoothie is taking them 30 minutes to make. That's ridiculous. Forget it. You're not going to do it. So just get one of those frozen smoothie kits to keep in your freezer and then dump it in. Number three is to schedule at least 3 mini meals or snacks per day, even if you don't feel hungry. So this is something that you really need to think about beforehand, and this can be done the night before your next day. So think about what your day looks like tomorrow and how you're going to get in those mini meals and snacks. So if you have a meeting from 9 to 11 and you're not going to be able to eat lunch until 1 o'clock, well, great. Go ahead and have a little snack at 11 o'clock, and then you can eat lunch at 1 o'clock. And then you're not, going 6+ hours without food. If you have some things going on in the afternoon and you can't eat anything until 3 o'clock, but you're planning on going to the gym at 5:30, we'll go ahead and have a snack at 3 o'clock. That's going to be your pre-workout snack. And then have something as soon as you're done at the gym, because then you're going to have to go home and cook dinner, and you're probably not going to be eating dinner until 7 o'clock. You get the idea. You want to just look at your day and figure out when are those little holes of time that you can eat something in there, something small, that you can get in the nutrients that your body needs and have those quick and easy things available to you. So last but not least is track how your energy and strength respond. And I think this is really important because a lot of times we don't notice the positive things or the things that are changing that we want to change. And we only focus on the negative, like, oh, I'm not there yet. Oh, I'm not able to lift as much as I want, or I still felt tired on Friday, or I don't look as good as I want, or whatever the case is. Track how you're feeling each day, even if you just jot down like a quick one sentence, so then you can go back and see, oh, these are the things that are working well for me, or these are the things that are not working well for me. And then you can change them. And quite frankly, that's very motivating. Your body will remind you why fueling matters. So to sum everything up that we talked about today, just remember, fueling when you are not hungry isn't about forcing meals. It's about smart, small, protein-rich options that keep your body strong, recover faster, and perform better in the gym. So if you found today's episode helpful, please take 30 seconds to leave me a review wherever you listen to podcasts. I really appreciate it, and it will help this show to grow and help more females to find this show. Hey friend, if this podcast inspired you, encouraged you, or changed you, I would love for you to leave me a review and share it with a girlfriend who will find it helpful or inspiring. That is the best way you can thank me and help me share my knowledge so I can help more people just like you. I'm so thankful that you spent this time with me today, and I'd love to connect with you. Join my Facebook group, Female Sports Nutrition, or send me a DM on Instagram, or hop on over to my website, EliteNutritionPerformance.com. I'll see you back here next week.